Trisha Ben, would you like to kick our C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council event off? We'd love to hear you and
I
feature
would
you.
love to, Kathleen, and I am so honored to. Just so everyone knows, every month, Kathleen very kindly asks me if I would like to, and I always respond exactly the same way. I am so honored to, and as the CEO of C-Suite Network, obviously a woman, I am so excited about how we're building and supporting our coaches that are driving success, seeing those deliverables and seeing the people that we serve succeed. And there is no finer example of that commitment than Kathleen Caldwell, who leads this council and is always cheering for all of us, supporting all of us in our success. And so, Kathleen Caldwell, I honor you. I thank you. And as the CEO of Caldwell Consulting Group and the founder of the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, it is absolutely wonderful to see the growth, the content creation, the support that's happening through the council. So she's guiding and mentoring successful women in business to achieve greater impact, income, and thought leadership. I don't know how she manages to come up with all the incredible topics she does, but it's truly a wonder and inspiring for all of us because, of course, we all need to be creating our media companies and our content that's driving the sight lines that we want to be able to have, both for ourselves and our businesses, but also for everyone we serve. The higher our profile is, the more we're able to extend that, then the more that benefits those we serve as well. So there's so much there that's critical, and certainly the raison d'etre of the high tide raises all boats of who we are together in C-Suite Network. So Kathleen, without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to you with an enormous thank you, and just ecstatic to be here with everybody today.
Thank you, Trisha Ben. Thank you. Thank you. We've had such a dear friendship for going on 10 years, and the evolution of you and me and all of us in our beautiful community. We are growing, and I'm so grateful for that. So let me jump in. My intention for our brief time together, our reputation is we get in and we get out. So because we've got to put some new ideas, some new thoughts, some new interaction, new strategies to work. We are a council of doers and we get it done, right? That's it. So I'd like to present a couple slides, get the discussion going, but this is all in a bias towards let's take action, okay? We're not a theory council. We are get it in and get it done. So with your permission, I'd love to share just a couple PowerPoint slides and get us going. So our topic today is all about how to boost your income as a trusted advisor, coach, consultant. Now, you may also be a speaker, you're a thought leader, you're doing all kinds of things, whether you're in corporate or you have your own private company, whether you've got a hybrid, whatever it is. The goal here is for us to level up our trusted advisor status. And I'm so thrilled today because I've got real world strategies that I'm using that we're going to also hear what's working for you too. Okay, so let's just jump in. Thank you, Trisha, for that lovely introduction. And I get the great thrill. And I have to say, it is it's so heartwarming to be the founder of this council and to be able to gather smart, intelligent, committed, awesome women. And by the way, we're going to be adding an affiliate group of gents, generous, enthusiastic, noble, and tenacious men who are supporting each of you and me in the work that we're doing. So we're going to be a council not only of women trusted advisors, but also men and everyone in between, of course, to support us. And I'm really excited and thrilled about that. So just a quick update. Thank you, Trisha, for the introduction of all of the programs. We are constantly doing programs that make a difference for you and for all of us. So every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have a program that's generally about 52 to 55 minutes. And again, information content strategy rich. And so our theme, of course, is how to become the trusted advisor, how to become the category of one, challenges, how to reinvent yourself. Thank you to Kathy Dirksen and Sheila Anderson for leading that great program on reinvention strategies. Liz Luckett talked about how to amplify your voice. Great program. Christina DiGiacomo is helping us as an esteemed faculty member be to the leading edge, but not the bleeding edge of AI. Sheila Anderson, thank you for your beautiful program on supercharging your perseverance. Goodness knows we need it more than ever before. And to kind of set quickly the tone here, and the topic is, all of you know, we talked about this last month a bit, but I'm constantly doing research and I'm constantly connecting. I have collaborations and partnerships with 7, 8, and 9-figure coaches and consultants who I'm in mastermind groups with. And so I'm always noticing and listening for what's happening now in the world and what's happening specifically for us as coaches and consultants. What are the trends? I feel like that's my opportunity and responsibility to be a trend spotter for you and for me and for us, just like you are for your clients. Okay. So I did at the beginning of the year, I did a LinkedIn search for the word coach and the word consultant. And you can see here very quickly that in the world of coaching, more and more people are getting into coaching. More and more people are identifying with the label, their title, consultant. Okay. And I view that as a very good thing because my stand is there are 8 billion people on the planet. And I believe everyone should have a coach. Okay. I have 3 coaches. So I think everyone, and I'm sure you agree with me, but the reality is with about 100,000 new people coming into our industry, there's more and more competition, so to speak. So how do we stand out? And that combined with the reality is for our clients, whether we have corporate clients, we have business B2C clients, wherever we're at, whether we do group coaching or VIP one-on-one, teams, organization, corporation, whatever we do, many of our clients, you can't pick up a news feed without knowing that many of our clients are dealing with now kind of the winter of their business, the winter of their careers. And there's an epidemic of loneliness, as you know, and I don't want to dwell on this, but we've got to have the context for today's program that we are, as Andy Grove said, the founder of Intel, we are at an inflection point. Right now, we've got an election coming up in the US and the economy is uncertain. Things are happening. There's just some things in the Wall Street Journal this morning about the Fed is saying we could be having a recession around the corner. Okay. Gosh, who knows, really? No one really knows. And it's that uncertainty that is causing a lot of people to pull back and need more support. Okay. So this inflection point of where are we going to be? And so your clients, perhaps even you, I know with me, I need more trusted advisors and trusted partners in my life. And so with that, with all of the coaches and consultants out there, your commitment to be in the category of 1 is key. So I'd love to just share just a couple more things, and then I want to get the discussion going for you because I think that the kind of the definition of a trusted advisor. I love this quote from Aon, and of course Aon was founded in outside of Chicago in St. Charles, Illinois. Very happy. I've done many presentations for Aon and Arthur Andersen, and really to inspire, motivate, and educate their teams and their leaders. But this is a great definition. I'm wondering if someone would like to unmute and read the definition, because I want to get the conversation going here with all of us. Love to set the context, then we get into tactics and strategies. Please unmute and jump in. Susan, thank you.
The definition of a trusted advisor, an individual or a company that works collaboratively, yes, if I could only speak today, collaboratively with their clients as a strategic partner. Harnessing extensive knowledge and experience, trusted advisors provide advice and guidance tailored to a client's needs and objectives over time.
Oh, it is, that is a very dense definition. It's heavy, right? Yes, yes. So I'm curious, if for the um, conversation today and for our interactive live stream here is to talk about what is really standing out for you. What is it that you can take with you that really inspires you and can provide the context for our time together? So I love, works collaboratively. I'm a strategic partner. What is it that's standing out for you in this definition? Because we want to get into some tactics here very soon. What are you seeing? And by the way, if you're hiring, you're in a corporate environment. And I know, Tricia, you bring this to as well, is when you're looking, C-suite network, we are strategic, trusted advisors to clients, but also what are you looking for if you're going to be hiring a strategic, trusted advisor? What are the things you're looking for? Susan, please jump in.
What it comes to a couple of things: the harnessing the extensive knowledge and experience, but doing it collaboratively,
Mhm.
recognizing that you as the advisor do not get to just put your play on everything they've done. It is taking the vast experience that they have and expanding upon it so that it really becomes a win for them, and a win you can be proud to have been part of helping them to achieve. Your outside point of view may help them to see something that they are not seeing. However, their inside experience is important to understand where they're at and how you can move them forward when you better understand who they are, what they value, and how those values come to play in working with what they would like to achieve.
Thank you. Thank you. Completely agree. Yes. Excellent. Yeah. Who else? What are your thoughts about, this definition? What's standing out for you? Because this is a role that some of us, I think I didn't really claim my role as a trusted advisor. And it's probably been just in the last 10 years that I've really owned up to it, ladies, owned up to it. So I don't know if you can resonate with that. Trisha, jump in and I'm going to stop the sharing here and get everybody on camera. Yeah, Trisha, please.
Kathleen, you mentioned my previous experience having been an executive and an entrepreneur in enterprise-sized organizations, very, very large organizations. And then, startup. Some may not know I was the first paying sponsor of C-Suite Network and came on board about 2.5 years in. That's why Kathleen mentioned the length of our relationship. Sheila's nodding, same, that time. I will say, no matter what the size of the business, no matter anything else, there are two things that are absolutely critical. One is that there is real expertise, and sometimes somebody has incredible expertise. It's just not the kind you actually need. Um, but have they been there? Have they done it? Do they know what it is to stand in your shoes in terms of that expertise and where you're wanting to go? So that's one thing, and there's so many aspects of that, and that's why Kathleen, you're sharing. You have three coaches, of course, because no one knows that intimately, right? That experience intimately in terms of everything you need to be successful with where you're going. So that's one. The second thing is trust. If I don't trust that person absolutely has my mission, my goals and objectives in mind at every moment, not just when it's convenient, at every moment, I cannot trust that person. I cannot work with them. And I will do anything I can to avoid that, to the point now where I think many of you have heard me say, no, love, trust, run. It is too costly to work with people who aren't aligned on your mission. And I'm very happy and ecstatic to align my mission. We had a very simple example in C-Suite. I'll share this with everybody because it's your story too. We had a young woman from Ireland. Jeff and I met her at an Irish Business Organization event last month in New York. She followed up. She was tremendous. She scheduled a meeting with me. I met with her. She offered help. And it was help I really needed. And I didn't ask her to help me, nothing. She just offered it. And I said, okay, I am so grateful for you to jump in and make that offer. Please tell me what I can do to help you. Because if you're going to give this to me with no, she asked for nothing in return. What can I give to you is only fitting. And I want to make sure that I am doing something for you. And it turned out she only had 2 weeks before she was going to be kicked out of the country because she's on a student visa and she had to have an $18 an hour job and it had to be a minimum of 30 hours a week. And she had to have a location to go 2 days of the week. And what she did was she came and helped me for 3.5 days of an event. And I got her a job and she is now working in New York City, fully licensed. and we did that with, I think, 2 days to spare, but these are the things that we can do with, knowing, loving, trusting, and supporting each other in each other's mission. She helped me with my mission and it was incredible. And I helped her with hers. And we all do that because that's another C-suite network member, not surprisingly, that hired her.
Fantastic. Boy, so Trisha, what I'm hearing is she stepped into the role of trusted advisor where you needed help. She brought expertise and
Yes,
the spirit of reciprocity, right? And adding value. Yes.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
if she had just reached out to me and said, I'm looking for a job, my reaction wouldn't have been the same. Not because I wouldn't want to help. I would want to help, but the amount of time I have to help with everybody who's looking for a job across the whole of the C-suite platform is very, very limited. We have different things I would do to help. But that was just a wonderful example of how we can be giving and how we can be supporting.
Fantastic example. And as a lifetime recovering overgiver, I will just say I work on setting some boundaries because my personal inclination is back in the day, I would have said, well, I'll just work for you for a whole year, with no sort of reciprocity. So I'm just leaning in to say, hey, the trusted advisor role is also in the spirit of perhaps there's some positive expectancy or what you're showing, there's some clear communication of what it could look like in the reciprocal relationship, right?
Yes.
She didn't, yeah. She wasn't self-effacing to say, oh, no. She clearly had an ask, but she didn't lead with it, Trisha, right?
Exactly. And she identified a need I had very effectively. It was a real need that I had. So, just tremendous, incredibly
Fantastic.
helpful.
Yes. Thank you. Great. So curious, anyone else, anything sticking out for you? Because I'm going to show a couple more slides and I think then we'll cover some things like trust and listening and some of the skills, because I want to also get some of the tactical parts of this that you'll be able to take away with you as well. So thank you, Trisha. What a great example. Hey, it's real world, right? So this is an important topic for me personally, but also I think for where we are as professionals, men or women, wherever we're at, but we've got our own business, we're employed, whatever it is stepping into what does it truly mean to be a trusted advisor? And there's generally kind of the old world kind of, masculine model of this, which I'm not going to get into now, but I think that we have such a new opportunity to create our very own version of this. And of course, the basic criteria, of course, is things like, we're well regarded, we're an authority. Trisha, you brought this up, and Susan too, is we bring the goods, right? We've got the receipts for the work we've been doing. We're demonstrating expertise and we've got subject matter expertise. Also, our clients are in Trisha, I'm sure with your example is, hey, can I trust this person? Is this person discreet? Are they going to go off on social and say, hey, I just blah, 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 blah for Trisha Ben, CEO of C-Suite Network, is it appropriate? And the other question that I know people are asking when they engage with us is, who's the right person who's going to work in not only my best interest, but our organization, our team, if you're doing corporate coaching, they're going to work in our best interest. They don't have the trusted advisor. She doesn't have her best interest. She's got the blend of you, your, our kind of perspective. So these are kind of, again, the thing which is they're the table stakes. Okay. These are like the table stakes in order to get into it, and to be seen as a trusted advisor. So those are all things that I'm just expecting that you should expect that you're bringing to the table. But let's move beyond that, because we know that you bring the receipts, you bring the credibility.
Did she freeze up or is it just me?
No, I think Kathleen
To move
froze.
into.
Oh,
There she is.
oh,
There she comes.
you're
We
back,
lost
Kathleen.
you for a
We
minute.
lost you for a minute there, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Thank you. So you've earned the right to be able to be that trusted advisor. And as we all know, trusted advisor is not only the IQ, but it's also the EQ that you bring. All right. And of course, and I want to pause here for a moment and think about, it's a very special trusted relationship. Hello, that's why it's called trusted advisor, is that you're bringing a lot of different elements into the relationship. And it's not only business, ladies, it's personal too, right? This is such a deep, intimate, powerful relationship to be in that kind of trusted advisor role. Having a deep, deep, intimate communication, really people are bearing our souls to us oftentimes. So I want to pause here for a moment and then just go into kind of trust building. So what are you seeing are the things that your clients are looking for, and how are you able to meet the moment for them and step into that trusted advisor role? What are you seeing? What are people asking for and needing that you're able to provide value for them? Carol, Carol, jump in, and then of course Diane as well too. But Carol, you are really moving into a new level with, of course, attorneys and with IP, intellectual property experts, and a whole new, just a new refinement to help them with their LinkedIn presence. What are you seeing? Because you're a trusted advisor to them and you're not an attorney, right?
No.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's interesting because when people come to me, they always come at a point of career inflection. And, maybe they're actually looking to jump firms and they need to beef up their credibility. They don't want me to broadcast that, but the notion of they expect me to honor that and to work for them in that way, and to elevate their presence online so that they will be more effective in their coming search. So, anytime someone has decides that they're in a career inflection point, whether it's because you have a brand new job and you need to level up to match that, or whether you're feeling down or whatever, there's an emotional component to that. And just having the empathy to listen and and the emotional intelligence to keep it to myself.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. Yes. And that trust, you're building the trust, of course. Yes. Yeah. Diana, you wanted to jump in, and then Toby. Yeah. What are you seeing? How are you serving your clients? And of course, your clients are serving you as well.
Yeah, I would say for me, I mean, something, a call I just had this morning. So someone reached out to me, they found me on LinkedIn with some special expertise I had, and I responded immediately, and then they're like, wow, thank you for responding so quickly. thank you for your knowledge. And then they wanted to meet with me this morning. So I think it's your knowledge, your expertise, you're willing to give information away. And now I might have a very big, more work from it. So I would say that that's, to me, that's part of a trusted advisor. You're willing to share information, not necessarily getting anything back in return. And I think that was really helpful.
Fantastic, Diane. Thank you. Yes, yes. And you're known for that, dear. You know that you're known for that. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Toby, your thoughts. Jump in, please.
Yeah, so I know one of the things that I seem to resonate really well with is my clients can come and tell me their big ambitions without feeling like I'm going to judge them for it. And then I can help them progress towards it. Whereas they might feel embarrassed to tell that to their leadership team, or they might feel embarrassed to say it over the dinner table. And I think the other side of that is that the things that they're telling me oftentimes are the vents they have about their business. So, I'm frustrated about these people aren't getting me. They don't seem to communicate well with me. And so they could do that with their partner. They could do that with, whoever else at the dinner table. But I'm going to actually have some actionable way for them. Or I might sit in the instigator seat to say, well, did you consider their perspective? And I get to do that because I'm not trying to be their friend. I'm trying to be their trusted advisor. And so I think that's really important.
So many great points, Toby. So many great points. Yes. And how many of you know that your clients, partners, family members, business and professional partners are tired? They're tired of hearing about the stuff that's happening at the office or happening at the business or blah, blah, blah. They're just tired. They're worn out. And goodness knows we get to be that soft landing. And Toby, thank you for all the things you said, because we get to have this very treasured role to be non-judgmental, but to know them well enough to find out what is it that what's really their heart's desire. Do they need a kick in the pants, or do they need a soft landing of loving kindness, of course? So this is the privilege. Yes. Yeah. Susan and Sonia, I want to bring you in here too, because you have been and you are a trusted advisor to so many key leaders, Sonia. And so, yeah, Susan, do you want to jump in first, and then we'll come over to Sonia?
It echoes a lot of what Toby just talked about. It's helping them to understand that sometimes their perceived message is completely different than what they thought they delivered. And when they understand those differences in value points, when they understand that when they only talk about the wanted outcome for themselves without embracing how that fits in with either the business perspective or the life perspective, they have difficulty being heard in the way that they want to be heard. And sometimes it is helping them to see that they are limiting themselves by owning only one thing that they want to see happen and not understanding what that is in the bigger picture. And I think our ability as an advisor to help them see a picture that is much bigger, it may not be only their desire, but how does this fit into the all of life? What have they maybe never experienced that you can share with them of why this is, I can remember being someplace and people are like, why aren't you all upset? And I'm like, not my first rodeo. You have done things at a time that allow you to say, this isn't exactly the same, but here's what I experienced when it was this for me. It may not change your mind, but it may allow you to see things from a perspective you have never had before.
Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Yes. Sonia, jump in, and then Kathy and Deanne. Yeah, yeah.
So I would say that I become a trusted advisor because so often I met people when they were in transition of some kind, whether they got put into a new role or they were needing to lead a new team, or potentially on themselves being thought of as potentially derailing. And so you've seen people at their worst, or you've seen people when they've had things that really tested them. And you were able to find what were their superpowers, what were the things that they could bring to the table that would make them, this is my terminology, whole, because you want them to be as whole as possible to deal with whatever's going on. I think, I agree with you about that today. A lot of people are very tired because the nature of events and the speed of events is going at such a fast pace that one of the things that I find interesting is that there were areas before that I might have said, at some point in time, you're going to want to work on this so that you can truly own your full leadership or whatever. And they're now turning to doing that. And I find it's interesting. Even last night, I was talking to somebody who, having coached in the entertainment business for so long and seeing it completely going through tremendous layoffs and all of this, where, it's become almost like not even recognizable about what is it that the actual industry is going to look like, what is it that the actual organizations are going to look like. And the problem that you find is that people then are just always trying to do the same thing, like cut, or whatever. And I was talking to this gentleman last night, and I just said, so if you do have a core group of people that understand that this new person doesn't have the same insights, here's a potential approach that you might want to take so that you guys can actually potentially not have the loss that you're thinking you're going to have, et cetera. And it didn't take a long time to have that conversation because we knew each other. He knew I knew his world, and he knew I knew that what was going on in his world. And then he knew that I cared enough to want to give him an option without expecting anything in return.
Oh, Sonia, so many words of wisdom for you as usual. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Uh, what I know, I'm also hearing you say is something that Sheila Anderson always says is that when you're inside the jar, you can't see the label, right? Yes, yes. So, Sheila, could we jump over to you, to expound on that, and then Kathy and Deanne, and we'll move on. Yeah.
Sure. So thank you, Kathleen. That was beautifully said, Sonia. It is hard for us to see the outside label when we're inside the jar. And so that's why we all need coaches, everybody, whether you're going through a transition or not. It seems like the theme is when we do reach out to try and find a trusted advisor to help us, we are going through a transition, an evolution in some facet. But I think that, there is a group of people that aren't there, right? That aren't doing a transition or evolution that, just may need a trusted advisor. And so I recently had, last week when I was traveling, I have a client who's on a retainer with me, and she's a banker, and the bank is eliminating her department. And so she's on a billboard in town all over right now here locally. And so she reached out when I was, gone, and it wasn't related to style. It wasn't related to her personal brand that I'm helping her with. It was, she needed somebody to listen. And so sometimes we just take that role as listening. Do you want me to listen to you, or do you want help? Right. So that's usually what I start off with when they're starting to maybe do a dump. Do you just want me to listen, or do you want me to offer some help afterwards? And sometimes they just want to listen. They just want you to listen. And so to be open to that, open to like what their needs are, not to take advantage of you that way, but there are times when they're just, they come to you first if they have some type of a crisis quickly in their life because they have trusted you. So I think we keep that in mind. And I also liked that definition we were talking about, excuse me, the definition that we read earlier. And I liked where it said tailored, because there's not always a one size fits all when we're a coach or a consultant. We have certain processes that we use for all of our clients, but we have to understand how we can tailor those to fit that specific individual, because we're all individuals, right? We're all different. And so if we just think about how do we tailor our process best for that client, I think that's something to keep in mind as well.
As usual, Sheila Anderson dropping the truth bombs on us. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Sonia. Yeah. Yeah. And isn't that isn't that worth something really extra special to be that trusted advisor, to be that, we are melding consulting and coaching together. We've got a hybrid here, and the IQ and the EQ, all of this. And let's face it, sisters, ladies, there's a fee for that. There's a commensurate fee that we need to boost our fees. So if there's anything we take away today, and we'll jump over to Kathy and Deanne and move forward, is that the assignment I think that I'm that's emerging from me, and I'm going to be doing it too, is instead of chasing clients, potential clients chasing opportunities, the assignment I believe today is to make a list of at least 10 to 20 things that you are bringing to your clients that makes you so invaluable to them. And so validating the worth of who you are, as a trusted advisor. And everything you just said, Sheila and Sonia, and all of you, Diane, and of course, Toby, is that all of that is so worthwhile, and people will make an investment because we know when they pay attention and they're making investment. So it's worth something, right? Yes. Yeah, great. Thank you. Kathy Dirksen, Deanne, jump in. Your point of view, trusted advisor.
Yeah, I'd say from my point of view, it's slightly different, because what I do with people, bringing them into being published authors, is often something that they've never done before. It's something that they might never do again. So it's something that they're adding to their business as a new way of building visibility, expanding their networks, just really building their business by becoming a published author, and especially working in an anthology when you're working with a group of people. So my role as an advisor is in some ways quite different, because I'm taking them on that completely new road. And so really that level of trust in that I know what I'm doing, and that I have the tools and strategies and resources to make this all happen, and really to have them just trust me and my system and say, okay, step into my office. And I work with them directly right from the beginning of going through their story, what part of your story will be of service to your business and really be appropriate for sharing. And so really it's a very different style of advising, because they really do have to just trust that I'm taking you in the right direction. We're going, this will happen, this will be the benefits, let's do this together. So it's a very different kind of advising.
Yeah, fantastic, Kathy. Yes, thank you. And what I'm hearing is that we've all got our own style, right, of how we do what we do and what's the value to our clients. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, good. Deanne, you were going to jump in, and then we'll move forward. You've got some things to say, and we want to hear you.
Thank you. Just going off the back of what Kathy's just said, actually, the work that I do with clients is again slightly in the other way around, where I'm involved in large global system transformation programs of work, and delivering those to global organizations from my office here in Northwest Italy. So and what normally happens in my situation with clients is that they're talking to me because they can trust me that I will give them certainty that they will achieve the outcomes that they're targeting. And then as part of that relationship, I'm also helping the team to understand the wider corporate dynamics, the project environment, and the organization landscape, how to understand and navigate those things. And also then with the team themselves, other than managing the outcomes, is I'm providing, as many of you are, a service as a sounding board, or as a trusted person, someone that they can trust and that will be a confidant, let's say, so they can vent at me and know that it won't go anywhere else. And the opposite, and then going back the other way, whoever I'm dealing with in the corporate hierarchy, they know that they can share things with me that I won't necessarily share elsewhere. So it's kind of being that piece of glue in the middle to join all the pieces together so that everyone is successful.
Oh, Deanne, so many great nuggets there. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. And you are leading us, you're so intuitive now. You're leading us into our next couple topics here. So yes. So perhaps,
Pleasure.
yes, thank you. So we've got just a few minutes left, and I'm curious, put in the chat for us, what's the one thing that's emerging for you? What's the one thing that's emerging for you as a takeaway? And we'll do this again before we leave our time together, but what's emerging for you, is kind of a call to action, or, always there's a gap. One of the things we, as a trusted advisor, we're a gap, we help them fill the gaps, right? Where's the gap? They're here, they want to be here. And how are we helping to close that gap? Trisha, you were going to jump in as well. And then I've got just a couple more slides.
I was just going to say, Kathleen, and I've been very conscientious of this recently as a women's coaching and consulting council. Owning where we stand with swagger, I think, is really important. And so understanding who you are, Sheila speaks to your personal brand, understanding who you are and having the courage to own it is critical. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I was on a panel of 12 people. I was the only woman. And I owned as gracefully and as graciously the feedback that I needed to give in the topic area I was given, but also as the only woman. And it was fascinating to see who walked up to me afterward. And amazingly, full gamut. I mean, people who would say, they are as anti-woke culture as humanly possible, through to a man who apologized to me for every man on the planet, basically, which I said, not necessary, but owning without defensiveness, without apology, the space that I really do own attracts the people that want to understand that need that in their lives or in their business lives. So I think that's something that I'm really recognizing a great deal. And as the CEO of C-Suite Network, more and more so every single day, it's an astounding experience, because we always think we've reached this level, and it's like, oh, but there's that level. And oh, but there's that level. It's you just keep learning and growing, and we get to do that together. Kind of, I've always called that like a leapfrogged growth. When we see that with each other, okay, I can go one more. I can do that. But not to try to copy or not to try to compete. Literally, just to truly own who we are and the impact we can have, owning who we are with others. So I think that's important for us as women to own.
Thank you, Trisha. So well said. And so we'll be, speaking of a gap, we'll be doing another program. We're going to do a 3-day challenge with C-Suite Network, and we're going to be talking about, again, the steps to step into our swagger to be the category of one coach consultant. So we've got some actual tactical things that we're going to be working on very, very soon. Very excited about that. Great examples, Trisha. Thank you. And so, as we complete, feel free to take a screenshot of this, because there's a lot here. And I'll be writing an article about this and have it posted and published on C-Suite Network, because again, how are you and how are we demonstrating that we are in fact a trusted advisor? Because the thing is too, it's one thing for us to say we are a trusted advisor. Okay, got it. But it's another thing for others to say we are, and to demonstrate that we are a trusted advisor. So seek first to understand, Stephen Covey, beautiful. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Of course, challenge the decision-making process. So many of you have said this as well. And then also, Deanne, thank you for this. is helping people to see the broader context, what other people are doing in their space. Most people do not have enough time to do that competitive landscape analysis. So you as a trusted advisor, you're doing all that, as a way to help them create a gap and another gap and another gap and keep stepping into it. And of course, always identifying opportunities in the way that works for them, adds value to increase their resiliency and to mitigate against the future. So you being out there, being the trend spotter, looking around corners, is so critical because, and Sonia, you mentioned this as well, is a trusted advisor, you do see around corners. We've got to train ourselves to really be doing this, not as a soothsayer or as a reading the crystal ball kind of thing, but there's a little bit of that, is to use what we're seeing and have a point of view. That's one of my platforms always is have a POV, have a point of view. That's how we raise ourselves above, other coaches and consultants, not in an egotistic way, but in more of like we're really doing this. We're serious about our business and our career. We're doing this thing. Okay. And of course, helping them to make the conditions possible that, as Sonia, you were saying, get them ready for what's happening so that they're prepared when, if whatever, a recession hits, layoffs occur, health situations, whatever it is, you're the trusted advisor helping them to see around those corners. So stepping into that role. And of course, as we complete here, some of the skills, these skills, you are doing these things, but obviously we need an executive kind of presence, or whatever, fill in the blank for whatever word you want to use. But the presence you need, building the relationship, having them know that you've got not only their back, but you got their front and their sides too. Okay. Deep, deep, deep listening, building that trust. And of course, the game I always love, and Sheila, you alluded to this too, is what are they not saying that they really want to say? And that marvelous magical question of, is there more? And usually, the stuff that's really the stuff that's really important generally comes after the question, is there more? Okay. So really powerful. And of course, the next steps, how? Okay. I believe we've always got to be maximizing our value, that relationships. What are the problems we're solving, but what are the opportunities we're helping to create? Okay. It's that yin and that yang. We've got to, and we have an opportunity to master the IQ and the EQ, the power of affiliations. Look where we're at today. This is such a powerful space you and I and we have created. These kinds of conversations are not happening generally out in the world. So you get to be the facilitator for your clients of these kinds of conversations. So, look in our YouTube channel. We've got tremendous content about how to build community, how to bring people together. We're also going to be doing some future programs, of course, with C-Suite Network on how to get your council up and running. Okay. We need so many councils and masterminds and groups bringing people together. People are looking for community right now. You can be the trusted advisor to do that. And of course, keep growing and upskilling. Okay. All the time, constantly be growing. And then finally, I think this is really the key here too, is who's saying yes to you as a trusted advisor? Who's saying yes, she is a trusted advisor? Yes, Deanne is a trusted advisor. Yes, Susan is, and Sheila is, and Kathy Dirksen is. And I'm going to just pause here and just stop sharing. But who are the people that are saying that Toby is a trusted advisor, Molly is a trusted advisor, Amber is a trusted advisor, Diane is a trusted advisor, Carol is a trusted advisor, Sonia is a trusted advisor, and Trisha and me? It's one thing for us to say it, but who's saying it for you? So if there's a call to action, again, another one from today's call is we got to have more people saying, they're a trusted advisor. We don't need to have them get into the nitty gritty of this, but we need people to give testimony for us. Okay. So August is the month of having people give testimony for you. Okay. Video. They don't have to get into the problem you help solve to say, listen, this person has integrity, has honesty, has unique skills, is able to step and meet the moment, on and on and on. It's more powerful for people to hear it from others than sometimes for us to say it ourselves. Okay, great. All right. So, wow, we've covered a ton today. And I'm just curious. I want to share with you just a couple things and think about like your one word biggest takeaway. What's the one word that captures our time together? One word, one phrase, and we'll go around the room. But part of being a trusted advisor is putting yourself out there and being in community. So our Saturday morning Women's Success Circle, our C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, we are now going to be this Saturday is going to be our 113th consecutive Saturday. And we have a different topic every week. It's a gorgeous call. So come join us. Also, come join us next Thursday. Carol Kammerer is going to be our speaker, and she's going to be taking we have three fortunate people that she's going to do a LinkedIn live profile review, just a quick profile review. It's priceless. So be sure to register for that. All of these events are on the csuitenetwork.com website. And of course, on the 15th of August, we're going to be talking about how to implement group coaching into your business. Okay. How to implement group coaching. It's hot. It's important. And we've got tactics and strategies you can use. Okay. And of course, if you're a guest, come be part of our council. Schedule a call with me on Calendly. Kathleen Caldwell, I can give you all the details, and come join us. Come join us in our council. We want to promote you, showcase you, and highlight you as a upcoming speaker. So curious as we complete, what's your biggest takeaway? Just unmute yourself. What's your biggest takeaway from our time together, trusted advisors?
I think that idea that trust is the key component.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Good.
Understanding who you are and owning it.
Love it. Thank you, Molly. Yes, thank you. Yeah, great. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, Toby. Got that. Yes, good. Someone else jumped in. Thank you, Carol. Powerful Women, Powerful Program. Thank you. Who else? Biggest takeaway?
I think mine was very much along the lines of Molly's, just owning our strength individually and together.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Good. Jump in.
And I think it's that shining the light on what those capabilities are, that a lot of us may own them. We just don't shout them out. And that was really apparent to me, and why this stands out so perfectly is a discussion I had with 3 other women and somebody who was advising one of the companies that they are involved with. And they were going, we didn't get anything out of what this gentleman was advising them on. And she turned to 3 of us and said, any of you could have done a better job. And you start to recognize how often the men are more than willing to talk about what they have maybe thought about doing as if they have done it, where we won't even attempt to own it until we have done it so successfully multiple times that it is maybe a ridiculous thing for us not to have shined the light on.
Okay, so we're cumulatively letting that go, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We're stepping in. That's a gap, stepping in and own it. Own it. Yes, great. Thank you. Amber, Deanne, anyone else jumping in? Sheila, jumping in.
I just think, again, it's that trust and relationship. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Amber. Great.
I just wanted to add to what Tricia says about owning that, what Tricia said, but also owning the value that gives to others.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And that's the way to boost our fees, right? To step into that value. Yeah, fantastic. Unafraid, unapologetically, and just going for it. Yes. Thank you. Sheila, want to take us home with some final words, final takeaway?
Yes, my phone has been ringing like crazy. Okay, so it's the power of connection for me was my takeaway, and how are the people that we're coaching or advising, how they feel connected to us and how we feel connected to them in both ways.
Beautiful. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, ladies, what a joy. What a joy. Thank you for helping me co-create this marvelous space, this marvelous discussion. It's a moment in time. It's very, very special. And we captured lightning in a bottle today. So thank you. Love you. Love each of you. Have a beautiful day. Take some action today. Okay. Tag me in your posts and I will edify you to the moon and back. Okay. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thanks,
Love
Kathleen.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.